Hello and welcome to the Deep Talk Podcast, a podcast and community dedicated to learning, growing, and connecting more deeply with ourselves and one another. I'm Madison Brandt, your host. Let's get started with this week's Deep Talk. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Talk Podcast. As always, so happy to have you all here. Today we're talking about giving up and why you shouldn't. And honestly, I just hope this message is going to reach anyone who's having a hard time believing in themselves and is losing hope in whatever they're working on or trying to build and just wants to throw in the towel, that's just feeling over it. This episode is for you, and I hope it brings the validation and love and wisdom that you need. And so I love you so much, and I get it. I know what it's like to want to give up, to want to pause what you're doing, to stop trying, because gosh, it can be hard to put an effort all the time towards things you care about. And I know that. And so again, for anyone who's just feeling like you just want to give up sometimes, you just want to let go, you just want to sink into the fact that you're feeling hopeless. You just want to be in a hopeless ball of hopelessness. I hope that this episode can turn that around for you and bring you a lot of love. So today's honestly the perfect day to film this because, as you can tell by how I look, my eyes are tired and I've cried a lot today because I too have felt like giving up on some things. I think this is a feeling we all feel. And the Deep Talk, my podcast, I really created it to be a vulnerable space to share emotions and to be a space for when I'm in emotions to still be in them with you guys. I used to have this podcast be more on having coaches and people come and share, and I still love that, but they would share their wisdom. And I always felt like the things that I gravitated most towards were listening to things where people were sharing their feelings and their experiences and kind of gaining those nuggets of wisdom that came through their authenticity and their beautiful, authentic experience. And so that's honestly what I want to do, is help you guys feel less alone and myself less alone, right? This is the space, but that's just what I just want to ground us in that first, because I know that these podcasts are vulnerable, but I hope that the vulnerability makes you guys feel less alone and knowing that we're all in it together. This is a space to connect and to be deep and raw and learn together. And so anyway, today I cried a lot. It was a hard day. I felt very overwhelmed because I'm working on my podcast, as you guys know. I also do makeup artistry on the side. I'm a writer. I'm trying to keep up friendships, trying to do all the things. And I honestly just hit a wall today where I couldn't film all day and get stuff done because I was just so tired. And I'm filming later at night now, which is interesting, and I usually don't do this, and I'm wearing my pajama pants, but I just felt like this topic is like, I need to talk about this now. And it felt like I needed to film it because I just was like, I know other people are feeling this way in a lot of ways. And on days like today, it's like when you go to therapy and you write down how you feel, but the day it comes, you're not feeling that way anymore. So you don't want to talk about it. And then all of a sudden you're like not in therapy session and you have a hard day and you're like, dang, I wish I had therapy today. I feel this way today. And that's what the episode is about. So I was like, now is the time. Anyway, like I said, I just have felt very like running around doing a million things, and honestly, I'm exhausted. And I kind of hit a wall today where I was just like, oh my gosh, is any of this worth it? Like, it would be nice sometimes to not have mission placed within me and to just do more simple things and to just live like that. But that's not where my heart is, right? My heart's so fully in this. And so I just had a day today where it just all felt like too much. Like, I was just doing too many things. I kind of hit a wall. And that's a little bit separate from giving up on yourself topic. Like, I think it's good to balance and get sleep and to manage your time and do the best you can to take care of yourself. But the area that I was feeling like giving up on is just like, oh my gosh, it would feel like a breath of fresh air sometimes to just throw in the towel. Like, it would just feel easier to just get up and be like, I'm not doing a podcast anymore. I'm not doing makeup dream anymore. I'm not being a writer. I'm not doing any of these things. And I'm just chilling. I'm just doing simple things. And it just felt like today just felt like a lot. And it was a day too, I talked to one of my best friends who's been applying for jobs nonstop. And we were just relating on this in different areas of life where we just felt like we were giving things our all and we were not getting a lot back, or we're just feeling like I just want to give up. She has been applying to so many jobs and she has just felt like nothing is responding to her. Like she's literally applied to so many. She applies to like, I think she does like 25 a day, like something crazy. And just, she's had very few interviews come from that. And she's felt so much weight and pressure from the ones that do work, or the ones that do respond, right? And it just felt like, from all the rejections and the not hearing anything back, it's made her question herself of like, am I doing this right? Like, should I throw in the towel? Like, I can tell she feels tired. And I felt like that a lot today, and just being overwhelmed and doing a million things. But I've also felt like that a lot in dating as of recent. Like I felt like I related to my friend a lot, where I was like, oh my gosh, I've been trying, but nothing's coming together and I just want to throw in the towel, right? And I think that we as humans can feel that in so many different areas where we just want to throw in the damn towel because it would be easier. I think sometimes the thought of giving up isn't because we actually want to give up, but it's because throwing in the towel feels easier than the vulnerability of wanting something and not getting it. So it's easier to give up and blame it on the fact that you never really tried than to actually want something and not get it and feel the pain of that. I think in every single desire comes a crap ton of vulnerability. When you want something, it's surrounded by, I feel like little prongs, little needles or something. And when you're trying for something, imagine you're the desire and you're trying to push the needles out. You're trying to get rid of them so you can feel expanded and good. But when you don't get it and you try again and again for something and you don't get it, the needles like push inward and they poke on the desire. And the desire, I think it's like adjacent to a wound where it's tender, it's beating, it's breathing, it has energy. It's a deep part of who we are. Desire is like the deepest form of vulnerability. It's the deepest thing inside of us. It's so intuitive, it's so innate. And so it makes sense that sometimes we don't even want to touch it because it would be easier to not feel the pain of those little pokes poking inward at our desire. And let me explain more about that, okay? That's a kind of a weird example. But like your desire is this deep part of you. It's this core part of you. Whatever it is that you want, whether it's a new job, whether it's love, whether it's having better mental health, whether it's having a better relationship with your family, and you're just feeling like you're trying, and your desire is like the same way that a wound would get poked if you go out in the world and someone says something that's hurtful to you that pokes at a wound you have from childhood, and you notice it gets poked by that same situation a lot in the world. A desire is similar. When you try at something, but then you don't get it, your trying is almost poking back at your wound because it's like, or at your desire, because you're going out and almost getting triggered by trying for something and it not working. So it pokes you right back at the base of it all. Does that make sense? Like you're going out and you have opened up almost the wound, you have opened up the desire, and now it's a vulnerable, raw space that can get poked at by the world rejecting you, by things not working out, right? It comes back and pokes that spot. And so it's very vulnerable to try. It's very vulnerable to keep going because you have pretty much opened up a raw space to be poked at. So for example, like if you're applying for jobs, it'd be easier to just close over that space and go, I'm not letting anything touch it, than to open it by trying and applying to a bunch of things and getting rejection letters or getting nobody responding back to you. You've now opened up the energy there. You've opened up the desire, the wound, the whatever, and now it can get touched. So it makes sense that it hurts when you are trying and you're not receiving. And I've felt so many times in my life where like I just wanted to give up instead of actually try because it hurt too much to try. I remember growing up, I played tennis and I have a tennis family, and every game I played, every match, every practice, I was so entangled with the sport and my self-perception was so wrapped around it that I felt like if I lost, it would just be the most painful thing ever. And so oftentimes I kind of half threw in the towel and I'd play. And if they were at my level or worse, I would just play not to lose. If they were way better than me, I would just play not to embarrass myself. I never played to win though. It was too vulnerable for me. So oftentimes I would blame my playing on my bad mental health, and I would be angry on the court, or I would not give it my best and I would just hit the ball back rather than go for winning shots, because I would rather have not played my best and not have to take the vulnerability of trying and losing. You know, I wanted to be good so badly that it was too raw for me to go out there and hit winning shots and to go out there and miss a bunch, but just at least I'm hitting it hard and I'm trying and I'm going for shots. It was too vulnerable to give it my all, because if I was seen giving my all by others and more so myself and I lost, I didn't have a backup of something else to blame for the reason why I lost other than myself. I had to take it all in. And all of that pain hit the desire of wanting to be good. And it hurts. It feels like little pokes. It hurts a lot. I felt that with my podcast building. I love it so much. And this point, I'm just like heart open. But there was a time where I was like not giving it full amount because I didn't want to take the risk of, if I try to make this my full-time job, my full-time thing, and I still fail, then that means something about me. That means that I have failed. That means that I'm not enough. That means that I am never going to have what I want here. That means that I did the thing that I loved the most and I still lost, which pretty much past the desire hits on the very core part of being human, is that I'm not good enough. And no one wants to feel that. And so I've really thought about it of like, how do we have desire? How do we not give up when giving up is less painful in a lot of ways? And I guess one of my only answers is that, do you really have a choice? And I don't mean that in a depressing way, but I mean that if what you're trying to not give up on is like your greatest dream, doesn't it keep tugging at you? Wouldn't it always pull you back? If right now what you're trying to not give up on is finding a job you actually like or getting a job, it's like, don't you want that financial security and stability, and so that you can pay to have rent and live your life and enjoy your life? Whether it's something you are trying not to give up on because of necessity, maybe a job, maybe your mental health, or something that is not out of necessity, maybe it's like your dreams, your whatever it is, there's a part of you, an intuitive part of you, that's going to pull you back to it. It's going to pull you back to it because it knows underneath that there's a reason why you mustn't give up. moving with a desire always hurts, but what hurts even more is not trying. I know it hurts to open up yourself to the potential of rejection and the potential of trying so hard and being tired and never getting the thing you want. But like that quote, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's like, it might feel more immediately painful to try rather than to give up. Giving up might right now feel like the best thing, to just put a shield over your heart and just feel better. That helps with the immediate pain and rawness. But over time, that nudge of you giving up on the thing you know you're not supposed to, or you shouldn't, or the thing that your heart knows you need to do and you're not listening, that is a different kind of pain, a long-lasting pain, a regret pain that one day you're going to look back and be like, oh my goodness, I didn't become what I was supposed to, and I wish I did. I have to believe that even though it hurts so bad right now to work so hard for something and not get the thing that you want out of it quite yet, I have to believe that the regret of sitting on my deathbed one day and looking back and going, I didn't give what I wanted my all. I gave up too soon. I didn't try. I didn't make something of myself. I didn't push forward on things I knew that mattered. I have to believe that the pain of continuing forward, even when it's hard right now, is worth missing the pain I know I'd feel looking back one day in such deep regret. I know that version of me one day is going to look back on me right now and go, I'm so glad you kept going. You did well for me. You gave it your best. You gave me a shot. I'd rather be 90 and looking back and never having gotten what I wanted, but knowing I tried, than looking back and knowing I didn't, and ending life in regret. And I know that's grim, but it's the truth. You don't want to look back and regret. And I think that's what you do if you give up on yourself. So I know it's really painful and I know it's really raw. And so that's why I want you also to know it's okay to take breaks. You don't need to do pedal to the metal. You just need one step at a time. You just need to take a long nap, take a little break. It's okay to take a break and then get back up one step at a time. And you don't have to go back at it the way you were going before that was making you feel hopeless. You can take one step at a time that's new, that's different. You can readjust, you can strategize. But I think that's the point, is that you don't have to go towards the things that you want by ruining yourself along the way. You can take them daintily, you can take them beautifully, you can take them kindly. And you learn a lot about yourself by doing that too. If you're not sure a way forward right now and you just need to know what to do next, just take one step forward. Literally just one, even just a half. And then trust from there that the universe is going to handle the how. You do the step, you do the what, and the universe will handle the how. And when you feel like you could just give up and you don't know the way forward and you just feel so lost, come back to this one step forward, one messy step forward, and one at a time. You don't have to look everywhere around you. You can just look down at your feet and take one step at a time, one half step. It's enough. When you feel exhausted by trying, and maybe trying without getting results, I want you to ask yourself why you started and what it was all for. Was it for your happiness? Was it for your peace? Was it for your joy? In the times where you just want to throw in the towel, where you just feel so hopeless, what was it all for? You have to remember the vision and the mission of why you started and why it mattered to you, because sometimes as we keep going and we get numb to things not working out, we begin to lose the vision. why did you start will be the same reason why you want to keep going. Oftentimes. I want to also remind you that as much as your gifts are for you and the reason you should keep going and keep working on the thing, keep going at the thing, keep working with yourself. Even if you feel like the thing you're not trying to not give up on isn't a thing, it's just yourself. It's your own worth, it's your own confidence, it's your own belief in yourself as a human. Even if you feel like it's so hard to believe in yourself right now, you have to also remember that people out there need your magic. They need you as a human being. They need the person you're going to become. They need what you're going to create. They need you. They need your medicine. And even if right now it just feels like, I just can't, like it's just all feeling so hard right now, think about the people that would be so devastated if you gave up on yourself or your dreams or your courageous steps. You're not here for no reason. You have reason. And if you haven't found it yet, then, oh my goodness, the reason you shouldn't give up on yourself is because you haven't found the thing that's going to make you feel so damn proud of continuously trying every single day as a human. You still have yet to find out what your magic is and how to spread it to the world. I want to share with you a few stories, I'm sure you've heard a few of them, of people who got told no a bunch or things didn't work out for, but they kept going and later they had success. The first one is, I think her name is J.K. Rowling. She wrote all the Harry Potter books. I love Harry Potter so much, but I'm going to read a few things, so mind my head being down if you're watching me on video. So J.K., before she published all of the Harry Potter novels, she was broke, she was depressed, she was divorced, and she was trying to raise a child all on her own while trying to write these Harry Potter books. She just kept going though. And the interesting thing is it literally says she went from being on welfare to being one of the richest authors in the world in a span of only 5 years. And you know how crazy that is? 5 years seems like a lot, but it's actually not. That you can go from such a short time period of feeling hopeless and like your world is falling apart to everything being what you dreamed of. And it only took a vision. It only took a vision for literally one of the greatest series of all time, Harry Potter. I grew up on it. So many of you grew up on it. From someone to go from being broke and divorced and raising a child and feeling hopeless and just having this vision of this book, this thing, and continuing with it, and it ending up being one of the greatest series of all time, greatest movies of all time too. If she can do that much in 5 years and turn her life around in 5 years, imagine what you could do. I'm going to share 2 more stories quick. We all know Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team, okay? And he didn't stop there. I'm going to read you one of his quotes. He says, "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, I have been entrusted to take the game-winning shot, and I missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. He lost many times. He failed many times. And I think people fail to recognize all these things because when you think of Michael Jordan, you think of one of the greats. You think of one of the best players of all time. You don't think about someone who tried and failed and got cut from their high school basketball team. People think that winners come from just waking up and being one. They don't think about all the failure and all the trial and error it takes to become something great. And so let that serve as a story for you to remember that you don't have to, that failure is a requirement to become great, to succeed. Not giving up on yourself is the only prerequisite you need for a great life, for a life of success, for a life that you're proud of. If the greatest basketball player of all time can have that many failures, imagine what you could be from continuously sticking with yourself and not giving up despite yours. Last story here. Stephen King, okay? Stephen King's first book, it's called Carrie, was rejected by publishers 30 times. 30 times. Do you know how many times that is? So many people would quit after 1 or 2. And I'm reading this and it says, Stephen King didn't stop submitting even after the 8th, 15th, 22nd, 29th rejection letter. His manuscript was accepted the 31st time and published. Now he's one of the best-selling authors, most known authors of all time. And if he didn't keep believing in himself, even though so many other people rejected him and didn't want his work, he believed so much in himself that one person would see him for what he was. He didn't give up because he didn't use the things around him to determine the success he felt inside. You don't need that to be the thing that mirrors the truth within you that it's going to work out. As long as you have a dream inside and believe it's going to work out, it doesn't matter if hundreds of people say no to you or hundreds of things don't work out, because you know the right one will, because you're so sure of what you are in your heart. To the very core of you, you believe that. I know you do. And so if Stephen King can write a manuscript and submit it 31 times, and so many people would think they're horrible at writing. They would give up. But he didn't, because he was willing to fail in order to succeed. And I think that that's what we have to learn to do. We have to learn that as long as we have a belief in ourselves that we are going to figure it out and that we believe in what we're trying to believe in, if we believe in the mission, the purpose of whatever we're trying to do, if we believe in that and we're willing to fail over and over and over again and not make it mean anything about our dream, not making it any less real, and just keep holding on to the deepest truth within us, we will become, and we will have the outcomes we're looking for. And we will become so strong along the way. And so to anyone right now that's feeling like you're like, oh my goodness, these stories are encouraging, but what am I going to do for me? How am I going to apply that to my life? I'm going to kind of leave you with this. Bet on yourself. Put all your chips in. Completely bet on yourself, because I once heard someone say, if you're going to bet on anything, bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. Push all your cards in. Push all your chips in. 100% goes to your dreams and your mission, like you know so well that they belong to you. It doesn't matter what anything else is responding to you right now. Bet on yourself like your life depends on it, because it kind of does. If you believe in yourself and you put all your chips in, and you should, because the only thing you can somewhat control in life, it's not other people, it's you and what you can do. And if you can just fully put all your chips in on you and what you know you can do and what you believe in yourself to be, you'll make it. Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself, because you don't need external things to see that those things are going to work out, just to know that they will, because you feel it so deeply within. Don't give up. Give in. Give in to yourself. Give in to your self-trust and keep going. I know it can feel exhausting at times, and that's why we take breaks. I know it can feel impossible at times. That's why we find encouragement. That's why we go to therapy. That's why we journal. We have our methods along the way, but the biggest thing to remember is that it's going to happen. It's okay if it takes time. And that as long as I don't give up, it's a done deal. So again, if you're working on your mental health, you're working on trying to date and find someone, I get it, girl. If you're trying to find a job, whatever it is, don't give up, because one day something's going to click And you're going to be so glad that you didn't give up. I once heard my friend say, she was like, for a lot of people who become something, there's so much effort behind the scenes and it's nothing, and then all of a sudden, all at once. And you think about that with people's career timelines. I remember I followed Gracie Abrams when she had 2,000 followers, and I just loved her music. And now she opened for Taylor Swift and has millions of followers and has a hit album that I have on a record player actually right there on my vinyl. Think about Sabrina Carpenter. Think about Role Model, both of them. I remember Sabrina Carpenter came up on my TikTok a few years ago and I was literally like, she should stop making music. It's not working. And now she's huge. Same with Role Model. His song, Sally, when the wine runs out, that he's always been amazing. But now he's like huge. Like I used to get tickets for like $20 and now those tickets are like, I don't even know how much, so much. But like whatever you're working on, again, whether it's your mental health, whether it's a dream, whether it's a hobby, whether it's just yourself, you'll be working on yourself, working on whatever it is. And then it's nothing. And then all of a sudden at once, because there's a lag, you're doing all this work and then all of a sudden it sweeps in because it's been created that whole time, and things take time to compound, and that's okay. Every day, just keep taking a half step, and over time they will compound. I know it's tiring. I know it's hard, but don't give up. I love you so much. I believe in you so much. I know so much that good things are coming for you. You are strong. It takes the strength, and I know it, to sit in something where you're tired and you're afraid and you're exhausted and you're stressed and you've just tried and you just, you're just tired. I know it more than you would think, more than you would know. To sit in loneliness, to sit in desire, to sit in pain, to sit in effort. It's a brave thing to do, but we do it because we have desires. And I think it's important too to know that like we can't punish ourselves until we get the thing, until things are better. We have to love ourselves along the way, because even without the thing we need or want or we're working hard for, even if it's just a greater, stronger sense of self, we have to still live our life. We're still living it. We're still breathing. We may as well love ourselves and be kind along the way. Betting on yourself doesn't only mean continuing going. It means knowing when to take breaks and loving yourself the best you can along the way. Loving yourself. Loving yourself. If you're going to put your chips in, you have to put them towards your heart and self-care too. So anyway, I'm just rambling at this point, but I just want you to know that I love you, and I know that it's hard and tired. I'm going to go to bed now. And just take those stories in, my stories, the stories from those people, and know that as long as you don't give up, good things will happen. Giving up is, when you give up, you are ensuring that good things won't happen. You are ensuring that you're not going to get the things you want. And maybe you want to know for sure the answer, so you're willing to give up so that you don't have to feel the pain of the possibility. But the possibility also is the possibility of the greatest joy you might ever know, the best things you might ever know. And so giving up only gives you one option. You know that option. You've been with that option, and it's hard. It might be a familiar pain, but I would rather you have the potential of joy than live with a familiar pain. Giving up gives you one option. Continuing gives you many. And I hope you choose a path of possibility because you believe in your joy. I love you guys so much. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Message me, leave a comment. I'd love if you guys connect and respond to this in any way. And I hope it brings you a lot of peace and love. I'll talk to you guys soon.